Self-care is about creating a life that restores your energy, that feeds your soul. It clears your mind, and it keeps you aligned with who you are becoming. It's about restoration, it's about realignment, it's physical, it's emotional, and it's mental. It's also not a one-size-fits-all. What restores you might look very different than what restores me. When you define self-care for you, it becomes easier to commit to it. It's something you look forward to. It's something where you can feel the result because you found something that matches what you need. So you can do the things I do, and you can explore the things that you may enjoy that fit your needs. Let's talk about the pillars of self-care. So basically there's 4. There's physical, emotional, mental, and joyful. Touching on all of these are the many different ways that you can build those self-care practices. Okay, let's break them down. Physical self-care, it's about moving your body, and it's about doing it every day. It could be walking, it could be stretching, it could be biking. For me, I do squats and things like that when I'm inside watching TV or waiting on my coffee or my something in the microwave to heat up. I take that opportunity and I do 20 squats. And do that 2 or 3 times a day, and that'll build up your legs. It also builds up your stamina. Another thing I do is I ride my recumbent bike. Physical activity is a hard one for me because I don't like going outside. So the things for me tend to be inside. They tend to be things where I'm taking little moments of time and doing something so that when I look back on the day, I say, I did do a little bit of something that day. My goal is always the 1 hour on my bike. Inside my recumbent bike. I'll put a picture here of me doing it. The other part of it is to prioritize your sleep, your hydration, and protein-rich nutrition. So sleep, the goal is 8 to 9 hours a night. Hydration, the goal is 2 liters of water. And protein-rich foods, it's 90 to 120 grams of protein. Protein is so important for your muscles. It's important for your skin. It's important for your body to function correctly. In midlife, we are losing so much muscle mass. If you need a list of protein-rich foods, I'll put that down below. The next thing about physical self-care is to schedule your regular checkups, getting your blood checked, understanding if you have issues, thyroid issues, iron issues. All of these things can affect your sleep. It can affect how your body's working. And if you only go to the GYN, I encourage you to also go to an internist. I know that GYNs can be the only doctor that women go to, but I find that I do need to go to both because no matter what, that person to me has never really focused on the big picture. And I will say this, as a midlife woman, I'm 61, I'll be 62 in a couple of months. I have even had to add in an additional resource, which is Alloy Women's Health, because doctors and even gynecologists, they do not get training that they need on perimenopausal and menopausal state women. They just don't. They kind of get in their lane and they're doing what they need to do and they're checking the things they need to check. But as far as that holistic approach to your health and all the things that are going on because of hormones and everything, whether it's hair, UTIs, vaginal health, skin health, all of those things, they're just not always on board. They don't connect everything. So I would recommend internist, I would recommend GYN, and I would check out Alloy Women's Health for mental, sexual health, hair health, weight maintenance and health. I have become a huge fan of this online resource because they have certified doctors in menopause state. It's a totally online resource. Again, you can't replace one with the other. I think doing all 3 is the best option because you're having someone check you out and do all the things they have to do for a GYN. You're getting all the stuff you need from your internist, medical, blood work, all of those things. And then you're getting an additional layer of menopause health and wellness and intervention from Alloy Women's Health and those menopause certified physicians. So That is my recommendation for self-care. And the first and most important thing is taking care of your physical body holistically. I want to go back and add one more thing here. Add in a dermatologist. We do not see our skin the way they do. They should look you over from head to toe, from scalp to between your toes, because if you go to a dermatologist and they see a spot on your skin, they will either biopsy it or take care of it or do what they need to do to prevent it from getting out of hand. You may have, like I have, a basal cell. It didn't look like anything on my skin. It wasn't a weird looking mole, but because I did that, we were able to do Mohs surgery and to take out that basal cell carcinoma that could have spread. So, gynecologist, internist, dermatologist, and then again, I would add in that Alloy Women's Health. That's the physical stuff that you want to do. The next pillar of self-care in our 4 pillars is emotional self-care. One of the most important things you can do is learn to say no without the guilt. It is so important for us to be able to say no and not feel guilty. At the age and stage of life that we are in, we are so used to pushing ourselves or our needs physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, all of those things. We're used to pushing them aside. It may even border on denying yourself something, whether it's buying something for your children or doing something for them and putting your own financial or emotional or physical needs aside to do that for them. It becomes something that you have to relearn or reframe in your mind to give yourself permission. I have really enjoyed finding strength and peace in doing that. So I encourage you to give that one a try. Be comfortable saying no. Another thing to do is just to spend 1 minute a day, 5 minutes a day, and journal down a thought for the day, whether it's in the Notes app on your phone or you keep a little notebook next to your bed and in the morning you wake up or in the evening you spend a minute doing this. You could think of it as journaling or as a time for gratitude. It can be so small. The other day I found a new place in town that sells loose tea, and it brought me so much joy to smell the tea and drink that tea. It's a small thing. I know it's a consumable thing, but it brought me so much joy. So whatever that is for you, I encourage you to find time in your day to write a sentence down about something great that happened that day or something you're thankful for. The other thing is just to pause and breathe. It is okay to stop and do nothing. It is okay to take a breath. And it is so important to do that, to be intentional and to stop, to live in the moment, look, see, feel, experience, and sense your surroundings and just be present. It can be very soul-filling. All right, those are the first 2 pillars, physical and emotional. Now let's go on to pillar number 3. If you're enjoying this video, please take a moment and subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you do anything for emotional or physical self-care that I may not have mentioned. I'm going to put on some clothes, get myself ready for the day. I'll be right back. Sunscreen, makeup on, still in my nightgown. It's Sunday. Who cares? Let's jump into pillar number 3, mental self-care. Learn something new. Listen to podcasts, read a book, watch a video, anything like that that awakens your mind or gives you a new idea. Learn to garden. I want to plant rose bushes, 1 for each of my 5 daughters. I used to do things like that, and then I just stopped. So I want to pick that back up. That's something I want to do for me. I started a YouTube channel. Things like that keep my mind so active and engaged, and finding things like that that bring you joy are wonderful things to do that reinforce self-care. Another thing is to unplug from social media. So just as you could watch, you could not watch. Give yourself time to do social media if that brings you joy, but also carve out time where you don't. It's about finding a balance. Maybe one night a week you splurge, or maybe on the weekend you splurge, or you splurge a little bit every day. The other thing is at bedtime, don't think about your to-dos. Do that earlier in the day. For me, at work, before I even go home, I review my list of what I accomplished in the day, what I have to roll over onto the next day. And I also think about, is there anything at home that I have to do when I get home? And I might even write a sticky note of those one or two things. And I try and knock those things out so that I'm not thinking of them at night when things are racing through your brain. At night, for me, it's skincare, it's thoughts that bring me joy, it's a bath, it's a nightgown, it's a little bit of fragrance. All of these things bring me joy and self-renewal. And so finding a time when you need to go over your to-do list and being intentional about putting that in your day somewhere else might be something that helps with that pillar of mental self-care. Last but not least in mental self-care is speaking to yourself with the kindness that you would give someone else, affirming yourself, acknowledging that your wants and desires and thoughts and things you do or don't do are okay. I like to kind of pat myself on the back mentally, like I did that. I just loaded the dishes before I sat down to watch TV. And that may seem really simple, but things that you don't want to do or that you may not enjoy doing, finding a way to make those things good is part of that mental self-care, believe it or not. Making myself do the things, finding a way to make myself do the things and go through these tasks, and then affirming myself for doing them, acknowledging those wins, small wins every day. That is a really great mental boost that I find. So I encourage you to give that a try. All right, pillar number 4, joyful self-care. Do something purely because it lights you up. It could be a spritz of fragrance before I get into bed at night, a nightgown that is soft or flowy, a silk pillowcase that brings me so much joy when I put my head on it at night, a shampoo, a conditioner. I don't know what it would be for you. There's so many things I do in a day. My skincare, adding in a really nice lip balm. Those things to me bring me so much joy. Yours might be gardening, cutting fresh flowers, getting yourself fresh flowers every week. I don't know what it will be for you, but the fun is in discovering what it is and doing it and feeling the feeling that you get, that joy that you feel for doing it is just so amazing that you can do things for yourself. You should do things for yourself because it will light you up. I would love to know what is something joyful that you do that you can relate to this point. What is something you do that just absolutely feeds your soul and brings you joy? Take a moment and put it in the list below. I am so curious to know what people are doing. You know, another thing that is joyful is to dress in a way that feels like you. And if you don't know what that is, discover what it is, explore what it is. If you haven't seen this video, it's pretty fun about discovering your style. I think it's a really good one to help you discover your style and what makes you feel like you're dressing like you. I want to share a few of these no-friction daily self-care habits that have changed the way I feel during the day, that have changed my mental, my physical, my emotional, my joyful self-care outlook. So for me, my morning and my nighttime skincare, this is a non-negotiable. It fills me with joy. Even on the weekend, when I'm not wearing makeup, I do my skincare. Doing it makes me feel good about me. So if you haven't tried skincare, that's another video I'll put here. You can help yourself feel better just by taking care of your skin and spending attention and time on you. The other thing I have added into my daily self-care is kind of a physical thing. I like to drink my collagen boost supplement drink, any kind of electrolyte water, something like that that helps me get that water in, because I get tired of drinking 2 liters of water a day, but it really does make a difference in my skin. It makes a difference in my energy level and feeling less fatigued in the afternoon. I wake up feeling more energized and ready for my day. Electrolyte water helps your cells retain water, or there are all kinds of recipes out there for coconut water, blends, things like that. Just getting that water. And so that's something I do every day now. Like I said, I do my little gratitude practice before bed. I do not go through my to-do list. I take a moment, reflect on the day, and highlight the things that I feel so good about. Wearing a spritz of perfume before I go to bed, and finding a nightgown that just makes me feel ready. But more importantly, how can you build a personalized self-care routine for you? If you're ready to start a self-care plan that doesn't fill you with overwhelm, I suggest you take one thing from each of those pillars. Just start with one thing and decide you want to spend 10 minutes a day on self-care. It does not take long to figure out what it is that you want to do, but it does take intention. And so I have a couple of things on my website, if it's helpful, free downloads. One is a habit tracker, where if you put down the habit or the new self-care routine that you want to do, you put it down there, those 4 things. Check it off on Monday, check it off on Tuesday, check it off on Wednesday, and so forth. If you need help scheduling it into your day, I'll also have a little schedule template. This is something I use to make sure that if I only have so much time in a day, that I find a little 10-minute spot to put in that gratitude or the to-do list or the 1 hour on my bike. And that might help you as well. It doesn't have to be a perfect plan, but you do need to think about it and create a starting point. It isn't selfish, it is essential, and you are so worth the time to feel like you again, to feel good about this age and stage of life. Evolving into the person you want to be, the woman you want to be, the woman you know you are, the woman that you've lost, all of those things. This can be so much fun, and so enjoy it and start to build these things into your day, and you will feel so much different. Please take a moment to put in the comments what it is that rejuvenates you. What is a self-care practice that you want to share? And if you want help creating a morning and evening skincare routine, watch this video next. It shares what's in my skincare bin. I'm sitting right here again, but I'm sharing with you all the things I do put on my skin in the morning and at night, my little routine, to show you what I do during my self-care skincare time. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you have a friend that may enjoy this video, please share it with them. Thank you for doing that. It really helps my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.